hello.
Hello.
It is no face Monday. Oh boy, hang on. my my grandkid is knocking at my door. How is everybody doing? Sean SS, change is good. What's up? Okay, we need to settle this once and for all. Is it Lester? Lister?
Luster.
Luster? Elstro? I don't know. Help us out.
What's up?
Help us out.
What's up, farm dog? Hiram.
What is up, farm dog?
Elstro. Yeah. Elstro.
Elstro.
Oh my God. I butchered that like a billion times.
Look at I did say, didn't I say Elstro? I was one of the, anyway, I don't know.
I don't know if you said that or not.
I need to make sure that we show our Where's Waldo pictures here. I gotta bring them up.
What's up, CJ?
CJ.
Daniel Baker, what's up?
Let's see. Download. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday night. Another Cram session. So just to let you guys know, we talked about this last week. We are doing a little bit of rebranding with the channel. So up until we get everything settled, we are probably going to we're cutting back on the viewer submission shows, and we're going to be doing more of these Cram sessions Q&A shows just until we get everything all settled. But watch out for, because if you guys noticed, Amanda had started doing viewer submission videos. So that is probably how we're going to handle the bulk of like the viewer submissions that we would normally put in the show. We're probably going to start doing some individual videos with them, which I think you guys will enjoy. If your coin's to be featured, it'll have its own video. And it'll give us, I mean, let's be honest, it'll give us more content for the channel. So, because we are working on trying to grow the channel and get more people in here that we can help. So let us know what you guys think about that. And we're also talking about eliminating the name Cram session and rethinking this whole thing too, and rebranding this and calling it something else or doing something different. So changing it up. You know, we've been doing this for like 6 years now, the same way. And I think a little bit of change is good now and then. So if you guys have any ideas of things that you guys crap. Crap versus Cram. Right. Crap versus no crap. How's it going, Nicky? Southern Coin Hunter, what's up? Christy, David's not here, man. JJ, how's it going? Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really good thing. We definitely need to do something that's going to take a little bit less off of our shoulders, but still allow for more content for you guys and more teachable time. So speaking of teachable, hey teacher. Hey ATAR, how you doing? Elstro. Who'd have thunk it?
Elstro, I would never have said that.
You want to hear more? So Elstro, are you asking that because you saw my my post on the Facebook group? It is interesting. I posed, so we can start off tonight by asking the viewers in the chat this question. So I posed a question in our Facebook group. I've always been curious. why we saw more double dyes coming out of the Philadelphia mint as opposed to Denver and San Francisco. Well, I'm even more intrigued by it now with the way the new minting process, the way the master hubs are made with this by the CNC machines, and the new supposed single squeeze that we now know is not really single squeeze. But why there are, if you go to Variety Vista or any of the three main attributors, if you go to their sites, you'll notice especially the nickels and the women's quarters. The Denver double dyes are basically non-existent. And it cannot be. Denver has had lens. So right. So Denver is making their own dyes, but the process is still the same. The process is still the same. They are still hubbing them the same way. It cannot be just a quality control thing. And it can't be just that Philadelphia mints more coins, because the mintage differences isn't so great that would account. Denver would still be making almost as many dyes as Philadelphia. So it's interesting to me that, and another thing is, I think that there just needs to be more study, change of equipment or personnel at Philly. Eric, now the equipment thing is okay. So now we're getting somewhere. I don't think it's personnel. I do think it's possible that they could be using different equipment. Pete Apple is doing a study on the different feeder finger mechanisms or dial feeder mechanisms used. I do think it's possible that the machinery could be different. But yes, something has definitely changed. I'm not sure anybody is going to really know until they can get in there and see it for themselves with their own eyes. You know, Eric, we learned a lot about the minting process because people actually went in there and started watching it happen. They started working at the mint. I mean, things really started coming to the forefront because people were seeing what was going on. We need people to get in there and actually see what's going on. Until that point, I'm just not sure we should even be calling them double dyes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you don't really know what's behind it, or
where in the process it's exactly happening and what is happening. And is there possibly a new class of double dye? Because they're calling a lot of these nickels, they're calling them class 8s. And just picturing the way class 8s happen, it's not fitting the picture to me. When I look at these double dyes, these listings, we had one listed in the Facebook group, a 2023, and it's attributed as a class 8, but it just, to me, doesn't fit that. Yeah, exactly, Eric. And I'm not sure that it even fits a class 9. I think if anything, it's a multi event, if that makes sense, multi-event. Or maybe it's a new class of doubling. But regardless, I think there needs to be more study, because I think once again it goes back to when I talked about before, people wanting to be first instead of wanting to be right. Wanting to be the first ones to put the listings on their site. Hi, Sean. Cool background. Like that? I liked that. Thank you.
Nice, Sean.
That, Eric, that's so funny you said that, because I definitely thought like class 9 and 4 or 2, but yeah, maybe 4 and 2. It's something's going on, which right there kind of,
Well,
goes against everything they're talking about with the single squeeze. I don't know.
And it goes back to what you always say, which is know the minting process. But if we don't know the minting process, how are we going to know?
Right. Like, why I understand like some of the research that's being done. They're all going off of kind of hypothesis, right? They're not it when I think a lot of these questions could be answered if people just had the opportunity to get in there and see what's actually happening. And I don't mean just anybody, Tom, Dick, or Larry walking into the mint. I mean people who actually have studied the minting process and can get in there, real down, nitty gritty, educated questions, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think you guys all know what I'm saying. You know me, you've known me long enough to know that I am one who just questions everything. I am that person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I'm the only one asking this question. I don't think I'm the only one who's gone, because I've seen it a lot. People say, well, Denver's just better quality control, so we're just not getting as many things. But we're certainly getting errors from Denver.
Right.
So that quality control hasn't gotten any improvement. But the place where you would think, because to hub they don't let anybody, the guy who pushes the bins from one spot of the mint to the other, they don't let just anybody go in and start hubbing dies. That is a specialty. That is someone who specializes in, that's a specialty. So I really don't think it's a quality control thing. I really don't. Because those guys know what they're doing. And those dyes are expensive to produce. They're not going to take a chance on just letting, hey, Bubba, I'm going to go get a coffee and a donut. Can you come here and hub some dyes while I'm gone? You know what I mean? I don't think that that's happening. That was kind of dramatic. You're welcome.
That was awesome.
So what do you guys think? Adam?
Well, I know when I talked to Ventura, she said her office is in Denver, so maybe
Maybe
they are.
Like, we gotta be on the, we gotta be on the up and up. So
okay. I like her, and I do think she's a bit more hands-on than mint directors in the past, David Ryder. But I'm not sure she's hauling her butt down to the minting process floor on a daily. She's going around to coin shows and doing PR, and
she's got jazzy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she's
Hey, Sean, we were just discussing that.
Oh man, there's some drama. I'm going to just tell you guys, listen. Frostbite Coins and Collectibles. I was on his show Saturday and Sunday morning. If you haven't had a chance, there was some awesome discussion about this exact topic, the flowing hair metal. Rather than rehash that entire thing on here tonight, I just would encourage you guys to go over and watch that, because there are some shenanigans that let's just say the U.S. Mint has once again bent the collector over and taken a big old boot and put it where. Yeah. It is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. They have dirtied and muddied something that could have been really, really good for collectors and for the mint's, you know, reputation with collectors and everything. Well, so they're not all going. So here's, okay, I'll kind of, if you haven't heard, I'll put it in kind of a condensed version. So the mint decided out of these 75,000 product limit that they were going to sell 10% of these flowing hair metals to the bulk deal, to some bulk dealers. Well, along with those 10% came some of the privy marked ones and the privy marked ones with the COA. Don't know how many. What we do know is that PCGS has a POP report. Now, NGC has not released their POP report, neither has CAC Grading or Annex. But under PCGS's POP report, they have graded 28 of the privy marked, 25 of them MS70s, and 3 of them 69s. So we know at least 28 of them have been graded by PCGS. It is very, very, very unfortunate because when they set a product limit of 1 to the regular Joe Schmo collector, who, let's just face it, is their bread and butter, when they put a product limit on us, but they decide to sell some of that product to these bulk dealers, who, I might add, are manipulating the market on these, because you will see that these prices for these are astronomical. When these are released, the prices these are being sold for are astronomical. Let's just say the 70s are being sold, or were being sold for $10,000. These listings now, another part of the drama was Saturday, there were multiple listings on eBay of these already graded, early release, privy marked flowing hair metals. Sunday, all but one of them had been removed from eBay. So you no longer could find them for pre-sale. So there's a lot of drama, a lot of questions, a lot of WTF going on that I would like answers to. I'm still going to buy one because I've been excited about this for a year now, way before this privy mark thing even came out. But I do think that we were talking before we went live. I have asked the other panel members to draft a short little email to the U.S. Mint letting them know our disapproval of this and maybe asking what made them decide to do this. I'm going to do it myself. I highly encourage everybody. It would take 5 minutes. Shoot an email to our Mint director. Ask her why this happened, what their thinking was, and your opinion about it. If we don't start doing that, nothing's ever going to change. I'm not saying it will, but I'm not saying it won't either. So, yeah, it's just really unfortunate. I agree, Sean. And they did that with one other thing. They released some of the COAs, signed COAs, without telling anybody they were doing it. I don't remember what
Chris,
that was.
Chris is asking which seller, but it was a bunch of them, different ones.
It was a bunch of them. Patriotic Mint. Now, if you go on AppMex, who I would have thought would have had a bunch of them, they do not. They have some regular ones for pre-sale graded, which doesn't surprise me because we've seen pre-sales done before. They have some of the, but on the privy marked ones, they have notify me, which tells me that they don't know that they actually have them or not. So perhaps they weren't in on this. I don't know. But the people I did see who had these listed, I had never heard of before. I had never heard of them before. So I don't know. And ATOG, they did up the prices, but for the flowing hair, they actually it was pretty minimal compared to the increases in prices for the other things that they did. The privy, what did she say? I didn't get to read that.
We shouldn't get to pre-order with the possibility of privy. Like maybe you get it, maybe you don't, is what Jen's saying, I think.
We shouldn't get to? Is that what she said?
They shouldn't get to pre-order on, I guess, the possibility of a privy mark, since the privy is special.
Right, but these so we already know that PCGS has 28 of them already graded, the privy mark. So they are early releases. These bulk dealers received these early releases, and out of the ones they received, at least 28 of them were privy.
Paula, share my screen. I've got the bulk purchase thing up here.
Right.
So it says under the current terms and conditions of this program, so the following items: American Eagle Gold Silver Proof Uncirculated, American Buffalo, United States Beautiful Quarters Silver Proof Set, and the 5-ounce uncirculated silver coins. But it says right here, the Mint may at any time add new coin programs to the Numismatic bulk purchase program.
Right, but this isn't really a program, right?
No.
And it's not a coin.
Let's see if we have a email for Ventress.
It's not a coin. It's a metal. And we know that they didn't make these. We know that they didn't sell 10,000 to each bulk buyer because they couldn't have if they only did 10%. If they only sold 10% of the entire product, they couldn't have sold $10,000 to every bulk buyer. Hey, Michael, what's up?
And yet,
there's only one email on here,
so Jack, we talked about that too, but here's the thing. A couple people actually called these people, and the one person did call the Mint and verified that these were sold. 10% of them were sold to these bulk dealers. And it's not, I mean, it's really the principle of it all. It really is the principle. And it's also going to make people rush to buy these that weren't originally going to buy these, that could care less about them, which will make it, if these sell out quickly, then it's really going to upset people.
FOMO.
Yeah, if these sell out quickly, then it's going to make the people who really originally wanted one of these, it's really going to upset them. And it's just not fair. The way that the market's being manipulated by this whole thing is just kind of gross. But and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you guys straight out how it is. If I end up with one of these privy marked ones, I'm probably going to sell it, especially if I can get 10 G's for it.
No doubt.
Now, I'm not sure that I would, in good conscience, be able to sell it for $10,000, but I would think about it. But is that fair? Like, is it fair that I even have to make that decision, or that I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so torn about the whole thing. It is all about the money, Southern Coin Hunter, and that's really sad. It is really sad. But I could really use the $10,000 right now.
Right.
I don't think that price point's going to last.
And I could really use a Toyota about it. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? I know. I honestly don't think that price point's going to last. I don't think these are going to hold the interest. You know what I mean? Like, because they're a metal, and historically, mint metals just don't do real well on the secondary market over time. Not saying this couldn't be, a red herring or whatever you want to call it, but
Right.
it's true. The privy will make it way more. And that's kind of silly, Frostbite, because to me, and honestly, I'm not sure that people are going to pay that much extra. I don't think that just the COA is going to make that much of a difference. I really don't, because the thing is Ventress Gibson has been making her way around to coin shows, and at almost any coin show she's at, you can get a signed COA. So I don't think that that's going to be that much. It may be to the person who thinks it's a big deal, but everything the mint sells can be. Yeah, exactly. So if you don't get a privy and you really want one, just wait, because I feel bad for the people that are going to jump right away and spend that kind of money to get one of these. And here's also another thing I want to tell you guys. I went on to NGC's website, and their early release labels. You guys can get these metals and send them to NGC. If you get it in within the first 30 days, you can still get that early release label. So I wouldn't for $15 you can buy that and have that label done. So I wouldn't pay for a coin graded that has I wouldn't pay extra for an exorbitant amount of money just because it has early release on it. That just means that somebody has got it to NGC within the first 30 days.
All a money grab, the whole thing, everything.
It totally is, and it's sad because I think that this was a real opportunity. Like Sean called it an Easter. It was kind of fun, thinking, "Oh my gosh, I might get one of these privies," because I was going to order one of the coins anyway. Right? There's only going to be 230 certificates signed. I understand that, Frostbite, but are people going to pay an exorbitant amount of money for a COA that's signed by Ventress Gibson when they're probably going to send the coin off and have the coin graded? And where are they going to put that COA? It's just going to be stored somewhere. Maybe
they probably put it in a slab. They usually do that,
which is silly, because like I said, you can go to any coin show she's at and have her sign a COA. Yeah, exactly, Michael. They're all the same. No, you don't have to send it in unopened. Yep. You can open it.
Just keep the receipt, your invoice inside the box. That way they know.
Send it to them in the original shipping box that you got it in. In COD. Huh. Ha, JJ. It's funny, that's kind of faded out.
Michael Kittle has a good point. She probably will. Like, I didn't get one of the signed ones here.
That's exactly what I just said.
Now, here's the thing. The ink will be different, so they will be able to tell the difference probably, because I bet it's going to be probably like a printed signature on the. I bet it won't be.
Like
No, because she does print. Oh, any mint product you order like that now has her printed signature on it.
Okay, so she's just gonna she's gonna put like some special like stamp or something. Maybe
She's
I don't
probably
know.
going to sign it across like she did before in a different way. But who cares? I mean, it's still just her signature.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I'm gonna pay $15,000 for.
Now, if she was only mint directed for 8 days, and
maybe, but how would you know you have it if you haven't opened it? How would you know you have the signed cert if you haven't opened it?
Now that would be cool, Blue Ridge, COD and the privy. I guess it'd be kind of cool having both of those.
Well, it would be neat, but when my point is, when people buy those, they're going to be paying for the privy. They're not going to be paying for the COA. Some people will that don't really know any better. But for the most part, the educated collector, they're not going to pay more for that COA. What they're paying for is the 70 grade and the privy. Now, the majority of these, you guys, are going to be 70s. And if they're not, they're 69s. But the majority are going to be 70s, which if you go on PCGS's or census report, you can see that. The ones already graded, the majority of them are 70s. So
Elstro said she ain't no Babe Ruth. That's for sure.
Auto pen signature. It'll be something. It'll be where she signs it. You know, I don't know, but I just got an aw snap on my chat box.
That's funny.
Did I buffer or something? No.
No. Oh, my chat did that too a while ago.
I look fine. Thanks. What?
You look better than normal.
You know what? I'm gonna match all of you.
No. Oh God.
Oh my gosh! People are gonna talk. Oh my gosh! Who wants to watch a bunch of people with their audio avatars up there? I'm sorry, you guys. This is just, you know, what it is. Shannon's sick. Amanda's kicking back in a recliner, and I just don't feel like being on camera. But I will be next week, I promise.
Jen says she's
going to get the same answer whether you see my face or not.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, you just won't see me making the faces I'm making.
Well, we did have at least one question come through while that was going on, while you were talking about that.
It's the only way they can authenticate the cert when out the exact. Well, that makes sense, Michael. That makes sense.
Yeah, because it'll have a number on it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. But, and maybe, yeah, I mean, I can see that for sure with the cert. But with just the privy, yeah, I don't think that you need to. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know these things. I don't grade coin. Talk about something I do. I'm an autodidact. That's a new word I learned.
What?
Autodidact. I am an autodidact.
Oh,
that's why I don't have certificates hanging up behind me.
Because
I am an autodidact.
You're a brilliant person without having studied.
I am self-taught.
Self-taught? Yeah, there you go. That's what I was kind of getting to. Yeah.
Now, I'm not a stable genius. But I
would say you are.
I am an autodidact.
Oh, you're unstable, maybe.
I might be unstable.
Oh, yeah. Happy Columbus Day and Happy Canadian Thanksgiving Day.
Happy Columbus Day.
You mean Indigenous people?
No, I mean Columbus Day. That's what I mean.
I don't know why it was Columbus Day anyway. He didn't discover America. That was Amerigo Vespucci.
I think how many states recognize it? How many don't? I can't remember. There's so many that do and so many that don't. So.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't get the day off anymore. So
No, right?
Neither do I. So
I know.
But I get like Thursday and Friday off for Yom Kippur.
Yeah, they get the kids got Friday off, but they didn't get today off. When I went to school, we got Columbus Day off.
Yeah, they used to.
I'm your favorite unstable host. Thanks, Eric. Ditto, my friend. Ditto. Right back at you, babe.
Columbus was a gangster.
So
I got some exciting news. I don't know when it's going to happen, and I've been talking about it for a long time. But one of the new things that we have been talking about doing is some interview shows that are going to be taped. They're not going to be live. Some of them will be live, but some will be Memorex. I'm going to be interviewing Jack Young. Yes, I am, whether he likes it or not. I told him, he said, I don't get off till late. I said, I'll drink a Red Bull. I don't care. I love that guy. Love, love, love him. And if you're listening, Jack, I love you, man. I really love you, man. I'm excited about it. Jack and I always have fun when we banter back and forth. So, and that Jack right there, Jack Riley, is going to get up here too. He just needs to let me know when, where, and how.
exactly.
And with Ken, I think I'm going to have to secretly tape him. That would be 4 hours I would have to edit.
Get him on the phone and record it all.
4 hours I'd have to edit.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so-
can imagine mail has got to be a mess right now trying to get your mail.
Look, I'm putting this question up, so because it's been out there for a while from Theodore.
I bought it for a great price. So it's probably an impaired proof. It is probably an impaired proof. And all that means is a proof that has either been in circulation or has some other imperfections on it. Usually when people use that term, it's because it's been found in circulation. But it's probably an impaired.
Oh, and also Rebecca said, does releasing it and immediately grading seem to cater to the registry elite getting their hands on one first?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't care about price. They'll buy it. They'll buy it for $10,000. They don't care.
And that's why they set the prices that they do, because they know somebody will buy them, and then that goes back to the market manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So, Jack Gallman from Marion, North Carolina, how are you?
Lots of Jacks.
Lots of Jacks. That's a great name.
I'm not talking about the game Jacks.
The front edge of the drum is a known spot to have weak strikes and not be full strike showing.
Oh yeah.
But
definitely.
I wouldn't think on a silver proof though, CJ.
Yeah. But I know what he's talking about. The strikes are horrible.
Or even the silver business strikes, because those are also, struck better than just the regular business strikes. But yeah. But I think if they're talking about impaired drummer boy on a silver coin, I would think that it was probably a silver proof. I mean, who was it that asked the question? We can ask them. What's the mint mark on it, and is it a proof? EMR? So is it a proof? Oh, who?
Theodore. Yes, yes.
Theodore.
My chat just closed again.
Yeah, mine did that too. You guys having problems with your chat closing?
My chat's fine. I'm not having any problems.
Well, la-ti-da.
Maybe it's because I have an Apple.
Maybe. It must be why.
I mean, maybe.
But if you'll notice, my internet has been much better.
Oh, who'd you go with?
I went with Hunter. And they gave me their normal price for 1 gig. I wanted 1 G or whatever.
Yeah, 1 gig.
is $80, which is less already than I was paying for Spectrum for the crappy internet I had with them. But I got a military veterans discount, so I'm only paying $50 a month, and it's a lifetime price guarantee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Indigon said his video keeps dropping out. I think it's something to do with YouTube.
Yeah, it must be.
And Chris, you can ask a currency question, and we will do our best to answer. We know some. We don't know everything, but of course, we don't know everything about coins either.
Can the bicentennial quarter DDO be found in mint sets? If so, what year? 1975. So I think that can be. So I think the year can be determined by the Ike dollar, right? The type 1, type 2 on the reverse.
Oh, you're talking about the bicentennial, yeah.
Yeah, if it's minted in 75 or 76.
Yeah.
Can't it? You can tell by the. Let me check that. Let me see what I can find on that.
But I don't know of any that have been found in the mint sets, to be honest.
Well, so that's what we're going to look at.
There we go. Indigon just said the FS10102. The FS102 can come in the mint sets, not the 101. Okay.
Yeah, the 101, it says nothing, but the 102, it does say can be found in mint sets. FS102. So let's look.
Probably why the 101 is so much harder.
But it doesn't say which year. So I'm not sure about that. It doesn't say whether it's mint sets, minted in 75, or mint sets, minted in 76. The group best source for 1982 and 83 BU coins since no mint cents were per eBay. eBay is the best. eBay is the best. Other or dealers. The only way you're not going to find. You're only going to find rolls of BU coins that somebody has put together, but your best bet is sucking it up and buying the souvenir sets. Now you can buy the actual mint, the souvenir sets that were sold at the mints, the different mints, or you can buy the souvenir sets that were sold to like the magazines. There were some that were sold to the magazines, the coin magazines, and they will just have a different token, different looking token. What's that, Adam?
I think I got 2 of those souvenir sets. They're expensive though. They're not.
They are expensive. I have a few of them. I think only a couple from the actual Philly and Denver mints, but then I have a few that I got that people didn't know what they were, and they thought that they weren't really souvenir sets because they didn't have the mint souvenir token. They had the one, and it actually has on that token the magazine that it was sold to.
Crimping mark? That's not good.
But I do imagine that 83, 82, and 83 cents were still distributed in BU rolls. I would think in OBW rolls from the mint, even though they weren't put in the mint sets, they still had to have been. So you probably can. I will have to go back on that. You probably can buy OBW rolls of 82 and 83 cents.
I know you can get Lincolns, but I've gotten Lincoln rolls.
That's what he's talking about.
So,
I think that's what he's talking about.
But I think some of the tougher ones you're going to find it harder to find. Like for instance, I've got
quarters are probably tough to find.
Now 82, I've got 82D halves uncirculated. See?
Yeah.
So these are 82 Denver. I picked those up.
But those are still put together by somebody. Those aren't OBW rolls.
They're not OBW, but they're all uncirculated.
Right. Which is that's what I
probably like a bag, maybe a mint bag.
Yeah, maybe bags. Maybe bags, CJ. Maybe you can buy them in bags. They would be expensive, I imagine. looking to fill my books. You know what, CJ? I would probably go and you can buy like mid-state 65s. And I imagine all denominations already graded for pretty cheap, I think. Don't quote me. I'm going to go look. Don't quote me on that.
If you get mid-state 66, you're talking some serious money on some of them.
No, I said 65s.
65s, probably.
Even lower mint state. If he wants it just for his book in mint state.
Yeah, get like a 63 or 64.
Yeah. And just crack them out.
Steven says, how do you find out that the DDO could be in a mint set as fast as you did?
I looked on Variety Vista.
Variety Vista usually tells you.
Yeah. Variety Vista will tell you.
Wexler might too. And then I think the Cherry Picker's Guide also tells you.
Cherry Picker's Guide does too, for the most part, when they know. Nice tone, drummer boy. Nice. Oh, it has a crimping mark. Ah!
It means it probably went through the machine.
Yeah, it means it was probably in a mint set. 82 and 83 MS. Rolls of nickels, dimes, quarters, and halves can get pricey. Yeah, I imagine they are pricey, Eric.
Yeah, I think this roll of halves is like $90.
Yeah. I imagine they are pricey. But, you know, I feel like you could buy them in like annex slabs or even PCGS slabs for like lower mint state for pretty cheap. Well, let's look.
You could probably get some real cheap ones in ICG slabs.
Yeah, but
not only that, you can find them at dealers' tables. Yeah, if you go to a coin show, you can just look. I've been able to find usually dimes and quarters, and even halves too. So I've been able to find those in books at dealers' table.
Donnie said, think I found an unlisted RPM on a 58 Lincoln wheat cent. How would I go about getting it attributed? How do you pronounce? Devin, thank you for the $5 super chat. 40% silver journal.
Well, right now, I think, I don't know. Eric, are you guys doing attributions yet on Lincolns yet? Not yet? I'm assuming not yet. But.
I mean, is Dr. Wiles the only one, or Kaneka?
I think Wiles is the only one right now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back on what I said because it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get anything in mint state for cheap.
They're not cheap. They're expensive. They're expensive.
I mean, here's a 3, a PD&S quarter BU 1982 for $50. You get all 3. They're nice looking coins, but that's expensive. That's raw too. Oh my gosh, this one's got a horrible ring of death.
How much are they selling them for?
But it's a beautiful 1982 with a ring of death for $14. Well, so here's the 82p 50 cent. $55.
Devin, thank you for the $3 super sticker.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're not gonna. CJ, just start buying some boxes, buddy. Start buying some boxes. You might get lucky. I don't know. Maybe you could, coin shows, maybe trade, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, give me a little bit, CJ, because I have a lot of that stuff stored in my closet. But I have a bunch of those souvenir sets. We'll talk. I don't need them as many as I have.
So Eric said he's got about 200 listings to edit still. So probably one of the best places, Donnie, for you to get something attributed right now would be through Variety Vista.
Now, I would advise you though first Send us
pictures.
Send us an email. We could save you a lot of time.
Yeah. Now, not only that, keep in mind, Wiles is very picky on like just little minor splits and stuff like that. He won't list it. So I would hate for you to waste your money doing that also. So.
Yeah. That's what we're here for, man. Send us pictures. We love to be the middleman.
Oh, Papa Giorgio asked a question I like. How common is the 39 5-cent DDO 007 FS101?
I don't know, Shannon. How common is it?
I don't
know. DDO?
The DDO, yeah.
DDO or DDR?
The DDO. It should be DDR, right?
No, not if it's a 101.
No, yeah, it'd be a DDO. That'd be
something about the DDO.
Is he talking about a nickel?
Yeah.
Let's
5 cents. He said no, the DDO.
1939 DDO. 19th. There it is. It is DDL 007 FS101.
Oh, I found one of those before.
Golly, I think we showed one of these.
Yeah, I found one of these.
I think we have shown one of those, haven't we?
I do think we've shown one of these, like not too long ago. Let's see how many PCGS has graded. That's not a real good, like source of, because depending on the value, many of them may be raw. So let's see what the value of them are.
Yeah, I think I sold one for.
Okay, which reverse? 39 reverse of 38, 39 reverse of 40. Which one is it?
It's the reverse number 2, straight steps. So it's reverse of 40.
40. Let's look here. FS 101. Let's just look at the regular one, not this, not the full steps. Well, PCGS does not have a lot graded. Looks like they have 6.
Wow.
They have 6 in all grades graded. So now that doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? Because I'm looking at the price guide and there's not a super high value to them either.
Well, now
when you get up in the higher mid state, it gets pricey.
There's a reason behind that, though. They don't have a whole lot of auction history to go off of, so it's kind of like just a guesstimate. That's what they're doing,
right,
to be honest. And if I look at auction prices, there's not been one that's sold that they've had a record of.
Yeah,
probably scarce. I'm gonna be honest.
But we know of a lot of things that are scarce that do not hold the interest factor.
Yeah, if they don't have the interest factor, they won't sell for.
If the interest factor is not there, then it doesn't matter how rare it is. The market's just not there for it. So, there's several things that go into estimating value for something. And many people may not have graded them. They may be more, there may be a lot more raw. Who knows?
Well, Papa Giorgio said he thinks he might have found 3 in some coins that he's had for a few years.
I think you would, this double die Papa Giorgio, you would know. It's pretty strong. Yeah, it's pretty strong.
Keep in mind, there's 3 of them that are very similar to each other on Variety Vista. So, and keep in mind, if it's got any kind of die wear, that doubling, that only makes it, if it's not that doubling and it kind of pushes it a little bit more towards where it looks doubled because it's die deterioration, then that's common too on nickels. So keep that in mind. So you can try to find die markers. It's going to be your best bet.
Yeah, 1, 7, and 8 are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
You should try Brian's variety.
Yeah, Brian Rybar.
Yeah,
if you go, and if you can't find his site, go to Wexler's and just scroll down to the nickel double die listings, and he's got Brian's link right next to it. He doesn't have any listings on his site anymore. They all are on Brian's site. You know, the big difference in those three is the date. The date is really strong on that FS 101. Let's see on the 8. Yeah, it's just not as strong on the other two. So you should be able to distinguish between them from the date.
Well, CJ may have just answered David's question. He said he has a chance to buy original 1947 P&D mint set. Toning is also present. The guy wants $1,650. Do you think it's worth it? No. Because CJ's saying there's some on eBay PDS sets selling for $625.
No, that hasn't been put together. Did somebody take coins out of it, and then, I wouldn't trust.
So those were those sold in the cardboard?
Usually they're in that flat cardboard, and they got a little piece of paper that goes
55.
over it.
They started putting them in the individual little where they stapled the little things together. That was the proof. Never mind. We're talking about mint sets. Yeah.
Is that the one that Ben broke out, or was that a different?
Yes. No, he did the 63, I think, or no, he did the 53.
I thought he did a 40s. I thought he did a 40s, but maybe
it might have been like a 49.
Okay.
The 49, I think. Yeah, that was crazy. He got horrible grades on that.
Yeah.
Terrible. But yeah, you still have to be careful that people put those together. That people took the coins out,
So Chris said thinks he found a 1996 DDO 101 in good shape, but it has some gunk in the lettering. If he sends it in for grading, do they offer a service to clean it?
If you pay for it, but it's a copper-plated zinc scent. My understanding is those do not clean up well. I'm trying to conserve well.
Now, keep in mind, if they clean the coin to conserve it, they actually tell you there's a possibility that your coin will come back clean.
And not gradable, right?
And there's a lot of stuff that they cannot remove.
So
it's a copper-plated zinc scent, and I'm not sure that it would be completely worth grading. Let's see, what are those? 96. So that's not going to get a high grade because it's already needing conservation. Odds are it's going to get a details grade.
Is it a red, or is it a red brown, or a brown? Do we know?
Well, if it's 96, if it already needs conservation,
right, got issues already.
It's got to have issues.
That's why you lick them.
I'm looking right now to see what 96 with the FS 101.
It's a red, probably a 64.
If that.
Ooh, man, that's a tough variety. Wow. There's only PCGS only has 7 total graded. Wow, pretty tough.
I don't even know that they do copper-plated zinc scents. Do they even conserve copper-plated zinc scents?
They probably can, but there's, like I said, there's always that caveat. It'll come back damaged.
I just don't know how they can, though. I mean,
I know that I've seen Chuck get stuff off with xylene.
Only brilliant uncirculated, though. Yeah. Only brilliant uncirculated. He uses that to get the little wax.
Well, this is a red coin. I mean, if
is that what he says? It's red.
Yeah, he said it's red.
Then why do you need it? Why does it need conservation? What did he say?
It's got gunk in the date and stuff. Which, if it's in the date, that No, no.
Yeah, it's got gunk in the lettering.
So
I don't think they can.
Which that could be from rolls, couldn't it? Like the wax from the rolls, maybe.
I don't know. You know what? Send us pictures.
Yeah, please do. Because
we can't
if
give
that
you,
is the 96 FS 101, it's pretty scarce.
Yeah.
My honest opinion, if it was able to, like, it's just like maybe some glue skunk that might come off pretty easy, and it's not going to damage the coin, then, I mean.
Well, and my question is that gunk or is it split plating? Is it
like is it
rot?
zinc?
You know,
is it zinc rot? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty impossible for us to really give you accurate advice on individual specific coins without seeing photos. It's just we're just guessing, and we really don't like to do that.
Exactly.
We really avoid that.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for coming. I hope you guys all hit the thumbs up. And so hardcore copper, here's my thoughts on that. On most things, yes, I would say toothpick. Copper plated zinc is one exception that I would say don't touch it with anything.
It's so thin.
Leave it alone completely. Because you're talking about, what did we say, 2 microns or something like that is how thick that is. I wouldn't touch the copper plating on a zinc set with a feather.
And maybe there's already some zinc rot underneath there, and then you push the toothpick right through the.
Exactly, or a plate blister that you rupture,
Not Rockstar said, "What's the outlook for the 2000 Cheerios Sacagawea dollars in original packaging? I'm looking to buy one, but they seem super rare. Are there left in their original packaging from Cheerios?"
Oh yeah,
yes.
Very rare.
You can. They are rare. You can buy them with and without the enhanced tail feathers. A lot of people didn't understand that, know that, but you can. You can also buy them with the dollar and the cent in the package.
You're probably going to pay a hefty penny for that.
Oh, you're probably going to pay $4,000, $4,000 or $5,000.
Here, I got an idea. Get the flowing hair with the privy.
Trade it.
And then sell it, and then buy your Sacagawea. There you go.
Or just trade it to them.
I don't know that I would go that far, Frostbite, but they are very rare. And yeah. Yeah, I love that. So the Cheerios scent, very common.
Yeah.
You can pick them up for $8, $10. Very, very common. The dollar, the Cheerios dollar, like I said, a lot of people don't realize that there are 2 reverses. There is a regular reverse, they call it, and the enhanced tail feather reverse. But they will not, if you send those in, they have to be sent in. Now, the enhanced tail feather one, you can send that in. It doesn't have to be in the package. They will slab it. But to get the attribution as a Cheerio dollars for the regular reverse, it has to be in the package still. Yeah, there's also a payday nickel. Did you guys know that? There's a payday nickel.
A payday nickel? No, did not know that.
Don't ask me what year. I want to say like 94 or something, but I'm not sure. A payday nickel. You guys, somebody Google it quick.
Okay, 1 second, because Kevin has a question. He said he got a new silver coin that's bullion that has an extra metal around the edges or sides. Would it be worth not melting it? Ray told me to ask here first.
No. So what you're just what?
88.
Well, what you're describing to me sounds like rim finning.
Right.
And all that is just excessive pressure during the strike. that cause the metal to flow between the die and the color. It's not a bad thing. A lot of people think it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It just means you have a really good strike on the coin most of the time. But sometimes it's because there was a little tilt, but most of the time it's because it was excess of pressure. It's just a little rim thinning. It can be really sharp, so be very careful. It's like a can when you open a can. Don't run your finger around the edge.
Right.
Yeah, Kevin, if you think it's neat, absolutely set it aside. It's something, it's definitely, someday someone will ask you about that, or you'll see someone say, hey, what is this extra metal? And you go, I have just the coin. I'll show you. Yeah, it sounds like it's just a bit of, is it a reeded edge, Kevin? Is it an ASC? Let me ask that. Is it an ASC? Is it a reeded edge? Because if it's a reeded edge, okay, yeah, that's why it's like a serrated knife, because that rim thinning oftentimes will have a serrated edge to it. Only so, yes, it can be Elstro if it's folded over during the strike. If it's folded over at some point. But that's a different type of thinning. That's a thinning that would happen probably when the when the blank was blanked out and then it went through the upsetting mill, left a little excess metal sticking up, and then during the strike it was folded over. That's a different type. Thinning be down and no. So no. Are you talking? You're talking about on the edge itself. No, a fin would be like a lip on the coin, like an like a fin, like a fish fin. That's what they call it, finning. It's fixed up. One ounce, $5 coin. Okay, yeah, it's just rim thinning, Kevin. Mm-hmm. You can, if you want to show it, you can, Kevin, for sure. I'm sure that's what you're talking about, but if you want me to be extra sure that that's what it is, absolutely, you can send pictures. Now that is a fold over rim fin. A fold over rim. Putting it one back out and look at it. Pin the thing down. Chris E, if you want to take pictures of it and send them. Yeah, rim burr. Kind of the same thing, I guess. But not really. But yeah, rim burr happens earlier in the minting process. Whereas the rim fin that I'm talking about with Kevin happens during the strike. It's just that extra pressure. It forces the metal in between the color and the die, and it pushes it up and forms a fin. We saw that a lot on the Morgan dollars. When the Morgan in 2021, a lot of people were complaining about the rim thinning on the Morgan dollars.
Good night, Jen.
Good night, Jen. Thanks for coming. And when you have those, you'll notice that if you have the plastic, I always want to say snap tight. What are those called? Are they snap tights? The round
capsules.
Capsules. Thank you. Sometimes it's even impossible to get those capsules to close. A nice partial tilted collar on the 2023 March billings. Nice, beachside. Yeah, those are pretty easy to tell on reeded coins, reeded edge coins. Because the reading will like be cut off at halfway up or 3/4 of the way up. It'll be kind of, you'll have like a step.
Indigon, I don't know if it really exists, but there's a picture of it, so somebody may have manufactured that. I don't know.
142 on what? On the formative years?
No, on the Harper's Ferry. It's the one I want. It's the one out of all of them that I want the most, because it also has a tremendous clash.
Nice. Hey, Shannon.
So not so much the DDR, it's the clash plus what?
I found a DDR number 4 on the double pump handle.
Really?
I sold one. I sold the FS 801 at Tulsa.
Is it an FS? I didn't even know that was an FS.
Yeah, it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Sean had one too.
Shay gave me one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He had a few of them, I think. He had a few of them.
Yeah, I've never been able to find one of those.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that I sold it because it wasn't an FS when I sold it, but I don't think it might have been. I'm not sure if the cherry pickers was the cherry pickers out when we were in Tulsa. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it just
Okay.
Oh, Indigon just said it isn't.
No, he said should be 004 isn't.
Oh.
There are a lot that should have been in this. There are a lot of double dies that on the quarters that should have been in this cherry pickers guide that weren't. That is the one place that the ball was really dropped, was on the quarters. That's my opinion. I think that there were a lot that were worthy of putting in there, and on the newer ones too. But
Not Rockstar said, do you all think that the Ike dollar will ever pick up in interest? They are big, mainly clad, heavy, and modern, but they are definitely unique. They seem to be the stepchild of modern coins.
I know one that's even more stepchild.
The SBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are certain niche for them, right?
Yeah, there are a lot of Ike dollar collectors. There really are. But like you said, the problem with them is that they were big, bulky, and ugly, and they circulated. People spent them. The proofs oftentimes were milky messes. They were just awful milky messes. It's hard to get one that isn't filmy and just not attractive looking.
A lot of them have tons of marks all over.
Tons of marks. Yeah, they just weren't. It was hard to strike them because they were so big and heavy, and so. But there still is a lot of interest, and the thing is, if you like them, collect them, because you're not competing against a lot of people for them.
Right.
And the potential is out there to put together a really great set. They're a shorter run, so it's easier to put together a complete set on them. And yeah, they are great for giving to kids. Kids think that they are cool as heck. There's a lot of positives to them. There's some expensive varieties and great varieties out there.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Charles Morgan has a Ike dollar set.
Yes, and Charles Morgan has also done some fantastic videos on the Ike dollar. So I think CoinWeek has a YouTube channel. So check out CoinWeek's YouTube channel. And because Charles Morgan has put together some great Ike Dollar videos. And that's a great place for you to go. If somebody could go grab that link and put it in the chat, that would be great, because that would be a great place for him to go check out the videos. And yeah, Na Rockstar. Hang on a second, and we're going to try to grab that link for you to CoinWeek for YouTube, and check out Charles Morgan's videos on the Ike dollars, because he talks a lot about interest factor and things like that, and why they, certain years were struck worse than others. And let me see, is somebody grabbing that, or do I need to go grab that?
I don't know where that one's at. What's it called?
CoinWeek.
CoinWeek. For CoinWeek?
Yeah.
Just the generic deal?
Yeah, right there. I got it.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. No, it's not. It's not. Oh, there you go. Shannon got it. Yeah, and you guys should check out that channel too. I don't know why I don't talk about that more often, but he's got some great videos on there and some amazing interviews.
I think my favorite videos he did were the Northern Lights collection that he did on the Morgans. I think he did that really well.
He has a great one on Franklin dollars. Franklin.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too.
Dollars. Franklin halves. Yeah, that he has a great one on that. But he's got some great interviews. So definitely check that out.
Okay, so I think Indigon said he's reached out to provide interest to ask them if they want interest from a collector's perspective. I think he's talking about the mint. So who knows if they'll care? Question mark.
You know what though? If you don't ask, you'll never know.
Yeah, you'll never get an answer. David said, I have acquired a 1928 funny back $1 bill that is miscut, and the last digit of the serial number is higher. Gas pump. Is that common? I don't know how common that would be, but I would say that it might be a little more common the older that you get. I don't know. Kind of similar to, errors today, maybe, on coins. What I would say is to try Googling similar type bills, or looking on eBay to see if anyone's selling similar type bills. Because I don't know if there's any real listings of those kinds of things.
Yes, Shannon's doing great learning about currency and stuff. Most of us on the panel, we really don't care. But Shannon is doing fantastic. He really kind of took a nosedive into it, and him and Sean are kind of our currency people on the panel.
Kingdom currency.
The rest of us will answer some if we're forced to. But we have to research a lot. And usually we go to Sam from Kingdom Currency. If Sean's not available or Shannon's not available, we have to reach out to people. So you took the same nosedive. Look, it's not a bad thing, right?
No, it's fine.
I mean, I kind of have. We all have our things that we're interested in personally for our own collections and stuff, right? Our own collecting interest. But as far as this channel goes and what we do on here, we all kind of have to dive into everything. So I like to try to stick to numismatics and exonumia, because I know myself, and once I take a dive into something, like, there's usually no end to it. So I avoid things that I really don't have that much interest. I don't like unanswered questions. So, and I hate saying I don't know.
Hey, Roger.
Tombstone note. Oh yeah. So reap what you sow. I think those are cool. That's one serial number combination that I do think is cool. I don't, probably because I like that kind of macabre stuff, but I'm a little sick in the head that way. But I do like, I like the, and I like birthday notes that are standard birthdays, like the standardized, not even though I was in the military, not even like the military. I like a month, day, year. Month, day, year.
So Southside Coins and Collectibles is asking, have you ever heard of a 1999 Delaware DDR? There is, I think, at least one or two listed on Wexler's, and it's just below like the that satchel that's on the horse that the guy's like sitting on or whatever.
Amanda would know about that.
It's a class 9, yeah. They're small ones, so. But I think
Amanda does a lot of quarter stuff. She does a lot of searching, and she likes those class 9s on the quarters.
Heck yeah.
Let's see. What is it? 99 what?
99 Delaware.
Delaware. Here we go.
Now, if you think you've got, something that's totally different than that, you can send us pictures and we can try to help you figure out and make sure it is or isn't, maybe.
It is the only one, and man, is that fly poop. Hang on.
Of course it is. That's what I'm saying.
So there's the listing right there. Livecoin Q&A. I just put it in there for that Wexler listing. But like Shannon said, if you think you have something and you look at this listing and it doesn't match, shoot us an email, because we have viewers that find new varieties all the time. We have had viewers find multiple new varieties and new listings, and some of our panel members. Not me. I don't have time to search. I'm too busy.
And even if you do, you don't have the right. You've got Denver minted coins that.
And I don't have the luck, and I don't look for the fly poop.
That's true.
Material scent has anyone ever found? So here, there are none that I know of, David. There are none that have been sent in the package and attributed as a Cheerio scent white AM. Now, with that being said, you have to remember that these were sent out in cereal boxes, and many little children spent them. They opened them up and they put them in their penny bank, and they were lost forever as Cheerio scents. So were there some? Possibly. But to get a Cheerio scent labeled as a Cheerio scent, it must be sent in the original package. And unfortunately, the way they package them, the reverse is obscured. So you cannot see the reverse with the packaging. A mirror. So, yeah, it's unfortunate the way they package them.
I have double Caesar. Okay, so like the lettering you're saying is doubled. If you want to, yes. I mean, send us pictures because that would be cool to see.
Who are you talking to?
I'm just talking to myself.
He's having a conversation here.
Outside coin. We're talking about the Delaware DDR.
Oh, okay.
He said, I have double Caesar, which that's, you know.
That's not,
Ooh, Caesar dressing?
No. Part of the word.
Salad. Yeah, it's not a known one, so send it in. And now I'm going to pre-warn you that the odds are it is ejection doubling, aka machine strike mechanical doubling, and not a true double die. But that please don't let that preclude you from sending that in, because I'm just warning you ahead of time so that if it is, you aren't disappointed. You're pre-warned. Because 99% of the coins that you will find, or others will find, or we will find, are not going to be true hub doubling.
Will look just like regular.
I don't think that there's NQ lettering on that coin.
Yeah, I think it's all in relief.
I think it's all in relief.
I think it's all obtuse, actually.
Obtuse!
It's obtuse.
You're obtuse.
I think that's going to end up in the Webster Dictionary. I predict it.
I think it's going to end up in my dictionary forever and ever and ever. It's my favorite word.
That's funny. Or it can be dieware. You are correct, Hardcore Copper. It could be that as well.
Yeah, it absolutely can. Die deterioration is another one, especially on those quarters, nickels and quarters and dimes.
Oh my!
Super common.
You said nickels, quarters, and dimes. Oh my!
Oh my!
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's just say 99% of what you find is going to be worthless, non-hub doubling.
Change is good said, I believe the doubled Caesar was listed as some sort of die clash in Strike It Rich with Pocket Change book. I believe I saw it in there somewhere.
On the obverse.
Yeah, that would be on the obverse.
On the obverse, yes. It is a type 1 counterclash, I believe. I believe it is a type 1 counterclash on the Caesar, on the obverse. Yep. If you guys are wondering why I know this stuff, it is 6 years of continuous repetition, answering emails, researching constantly, day in, day out. So this is not, you can have all of this worthless knowledge stuck in your head too. I am, and yes.
Go back and watch her 6 years ago and you'll find out how little she knew that.
That's true. It's true. You can.
But you suck it up like a sponge, so that's good.
I suck it up like a sponge, and I'm constantly researching. It's one of the blessings of doing what we do here, and being. I'm forced to research much of this, and many times it is the same stuff over and over and over. And with anything, if you read the same thing or look up the same thing over and over and over, eventually it's going to stick. So.
Yeah. This one's probably pretty easy from Carrie. Is it possible for a tiny nail-like anomaly to literally be struck through a coin at the mint or during the minting process?
Yes. Yes.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
And Christopher Innovation asks, what do you think about the 230 anniversary medal that is coming out tomorrow? Would you buy it?
I am buying it. I am buying it. I have absolutely no expectation of getting a privy or a COA. My intention from the very beginning, almost a year ago, was to buy one of these. I loved the idea of the classic design. I think it's going to be beautiful metal. So, and I often will buy U.S. Mint metals. I like them. I'm big into exonumia, and I'm not buying them for resale or anything else. I buy things because I love them. My collection, you guys, there is absolutely no rhyme or reason to my collection. I have plastic Mardi Gras doubloons. I mean, I've got there's no rhyme or reason. When I see something I like, I collect it. I get it. I buy it.
I have wooden original ATOG coins.
There you go. I've got wooden nickels. I've got, I mean.
You want one. I know you do.
I do want one.
Changes Good said, I looked it up, the double Caesar in the book. It was actually a doubled Rodney below the primary Rodney, and it's listed as a clash.
Yes, it is
extremely scarce.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's what I said. A counter clash. But you could have saved yourself some time had you just listened to me.
I sent an email. Okay, great, Carrie. Thank you.
Yeah, it's shiny. It's shiny purdy.
Would you buy it in gold? Is that what
you're saying?
Oh, no.
I would not buy it in gold because I can't afford it. If I had the money and could buy it in gold and it wasn't ridiculously priced, I would probably buy it in gold. I think it's going to be, but actually, if I could buy a gold coin, it would be a buffalo. Because I think we saw those in Tulsa. I've never seen one in person. Those things are stunning.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful. If I could buy a modern gold coin right now, a modern one, I'm not talking about like the St. Gaudens or anything like that. I'm just talking about like that type of thing. It would be a buffalo because I think that was fantastic. But yeah, I think that Caesar Rodney or Rodney Caesar or whatever the quarter is. I think it's a type 1 counter clash. It could be a type 2, but I thought it was a type 1 counter clash.
So great wise ones.
Well, it is 7 o'clock. I'm sweating.
I had to talk about that 77 real fast.
I do want you to. Yes, I do. I had a double cheeseburger tonight and a chocolate shake, and I have the meat sweats.
You have the meat sweats?
We do. Okay, hang on, Adam. I'm going to put you solo.
Hardcore, what I was trying to say. She says, I have a gold Harry Potter coin. I said, mail it to me. That's gotta be a command, right?
A mail it
to me. Okay, so, all right. So I found cherry-picked a 77 Denver Kennedy $50. Okay, so I cherry-picked that at a show. I said, this sure does look like the FS 101. So I looked at, all the die markers, and then I even I was like, I'm pretty sure it is. So I sent it to PCGS. They sent it back to me, said, no, it's not.
Well, we all looked at it too.
Yeah. Well, so the first time I sent it to PCGS, they sent it back. So then I asked Paula and Shay to look at it because I know Shay does a lot of $50. Yeah. He said, it looks good to me. I don't know why they didn't attribute it. So I tried again. They sent it back to me and said minor variety. So I said, well, this is so stupid. So I thought, I'm going to send this into Annex. So I crossed it to Annex, I was only asking for a 65, and they gave me a 66, so they crossed it the same grade, but they've got the attribution properly on there. Look at that.
Yeah.
So it just proves the grading companies don't always know what they're doing.
That's right.
Sometimes you might submit multiple times and you won't get the variety that you're asking for. They've been known to put the wrong variety on the label. Mm-hmm. So it's a challenge, but I wanted this in the graded holder because this is the top pop. There's not one other graded a 66 or higher, and this was in a PCGS plastic, so I know it can get a 66 with PCGS. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I think I'm gonna sell it. It's probably.
I think you should hold on to it and
pretty tough variety.
And wait till you're at a show and put it in a CAC holder, but that's just me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, too. Okay, I'll hold on. I don't need it right now anyway.
Look at Jack.
I'll keep it.
Yeah, listen, Jack Riley I was just going to say, is Jack Riley in the chat? Because we see it. If any of you are on Facebook at all, like on a regular basis, you will see it constantly. They are making mistakes continuously on errors and varieties. A lot of times the mistakes they make on errors are just they use the wrong terminology, but it shouldn't be that way. And sometimes they just screw it all up. But yeah, so just because something is not listed on a slab, or just because they don't give you what you think, ask other opinions, get multiple opinions, and understand that these grading companies make mistakes. They are just human. They make mistakes too. So I'm not saying question everything, but yeah. If you follow your gut, and if you have more people than not telling you it is something, then it probably is.
Yeah, it's sad that you have to do that. I mean, but unfortunately it's part of the game, to be honest. It really is.
And Adam, most people would have just given up after the second time. They would have said, "Oh, must not be it. I must be wrong."
I guess it's all about education, though. If you know that you've got
Absolutely.
something, then you're like, I'm going to fight this because I know it's what it is,
Right.
So,
well, and it wasn't like you asked, multiple people who really didn't know varieties. I mean, you asked people who were pretty good at what they do,
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Jack, exactly. Buy the coin, not the holder. You're right.
Yep. That's absolutely right. All right, you guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. Great questions, you guys. Fantastic questions. I love that. I love doing this, just hanging out and talking to everybody. And so, but like I said, we're going to be revamping the channel, rebranding it, doing a bunch of changes. It's going to take some time. So, just be patient with us, hang out. If you have ideas on things that you would like to see us do on the channel, shoot us an email, put a comment on our comment section. But share us out, tell your friends, and give us a thumbs up before you leave, please. We'd appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming, everybody. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.